thought this was kind of interesting. Posting when no one cares. Why I still post my music even when no one cares.
I've been making music and posting videos on the internet for like 7 years now. In that time, I've seen so many ups and downs. I've had multiple videos go viral. I've had multiple videos flop. I've gone from 0 monthly listeners on Spotify to over 1 million. Now I'm floating around 600,000. And even with all the success I've had.
So, okay, keep in mind here. This video is called Why I Still Post My Music Even When No One Cares. Did you hear what he just said? Wait, hold on. We gotta watch this again.
I've been making music and posting videos on the internet for like 7 years now. In that time, I've seen so many ups and downs. I've had multiple videos
15 million views.
go viral. I've had multiple videos flop.
2.7K. How many of you guys wish you can get 2.7K on your music?
I've gone from 0 monthly listeners on Spotify to over 1 million. Now I'm floating around 600,000. And even with all this,
no, there's nothing wrong with whether or not you produce for someone. There's a lot of different genres. Okay, he makes like lo-fi music. Okay, like, come on. Do you ask that about electronic music producers? Do you ask that about people that make instrumental music? That's dumb.
Success I've had till this day, I can still post a video on YouTube or Instagram and get tens of thousands of views, or get 100 views, or just like a very, very small amount of views, comments, engagement, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not gonna lie,
it definitely sucks.
But throughout all the ups and downs, I still post because I've learned something that a lot of artists.
So overall, the mindset of what he's saying here is true. It's true. Like that's one thing about music and just content creation, art in general. You don't do it for the numbers. If you do it for the numbers, you're gonna be very disappointed. You're gonna be very, very disappointed. You know, first of all, when you first start, there's a long uphill battle before you see any sort of traction. So if you're not doing it because you like doing it, you're in for a rough time. You're in for a very rough time. And then after that, when you do see some sort of traction, there's no guarantee it's gonna stay that way. So if you don't enjoy doing it, it's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be fun for you.
This creatives, musicians have yet to realize, and that is posting when no one is watching is just part of the process. And if you can't make it through that phase, you probably never will.
Yeah, I agree.
Every single artist you love and admire starts here. 0 followers, 0 likes, 0 validation. But what separates them from the ones who quit is that they simply kept going even when it felt pointless. That is honestly the constant battle.
Okay, wait, 1.25 is too much for him. Okay. We'll just leave it on 1.
Every successful person has to overcome. And I'm telling you this from firsthand experience. It's taken me very, very long for this to not affect me as much as it used to. And let's keep it a bean. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. It still affects me, bro. Like 7 years in, it still affects me. This feeling never goes away. But with the experience of like all the times I've wanted to give up and the times I didn't, and seeing how a viral moment or something crazy can happen just over that period where you felt like you wanted to quit, that experience is what keeps me going, or at least kept me going this whole time. Because no matter what, times are going to change, trends are going to change, algorithms are going to change. Things are always going to change that are outside of your
And this is kind of a sleeper.
power. And the only thing that is still within your power is just to keep adapting, keep staying consistent, and just keep going. I don't want to make this sound simpler than it is, but truthfully, I personally believe that like the secret to success is literally just not giving up. I want to say that's like the key difference between someone that makes it and someone that didn't make it. It's literally because the person that didn't make it at some point gave up. And that's not to criticize any of you that have given up or feel stuck or anything like that, because bro, shit happens, life happens. You got to make money, you have kids, you got to take care of your kids, you got to take care of your family, you got to take care of yourself. So me saying this isn't to throw salt on the wounds of people who have quit or have given up, because maybe they were put in,
You know, so far he's only speaking facts.
into positions where it just really wasn't feasible for them. But at the end of the day, like I know you guys have all seen that little image where there's a guy that's like excavating or something, and
Yeah, but having this in your mind also is not good. Because then what if you keep posting music or whatever you're doing and then it never goes anywhere and you constantly think you're on the verge of this, and then you go through your entire life thinking you're going to get to this, you know, but you never get to this.
and then there's a guy that's giving up, and then you see the other side of where he gave up and it's like diamonds and stuff like that. That's like literally what this is all about. Here's a bit of an analogy that I like to live by, where it's like every post is a brick. Look at it like you're laying down the foundation. You're building a catalog, you're building a body of work. So even if nobody sees it right now, at some point, as long as you don't give up, if you do hit that one moment where you get that huge discoverability that's completely new to you.
Yeah, that's one thing is he did hit that. That's why he had like such a large burst in success. So like he's been doing lo-fi music for a long time, and I think he like really blew up through like, I don't know if it's Instagram specifically or TikTok, but it blew the fuck up. Like he has like some shit with like thousands, maybe millions of like people using it. Like it's pretty crazy. But one thing I have thought about is I feel like lo-fi is probably one of the first genres to get replaced by AI or just by other producers, you know what I mean? Because it's probably one of the easiest to make, you know what I mean? It's just, lo-fi is like without a doubt one of the easiest things to make.
Everyone's gonna go back and binge everything you got. This is something that I've built my career on. This is something like the Rust method.
That's true. That is true.
With that, but I remember back in the day when I was really on the come up, and I was inspired by Rust, where he was literally posting a new song every single week.
Okay, that's crazy.
A little more traction, a little more traction, a little more traction, and by the time he started getting that like stardom success, he had all this music and his catalog was just streaming. And even me, for example, like
I was getting worried there. He was gonna say, so I went back and binged all of Russ's music. I thought for sure he was gonna say that. That'd be crazy.
Right now, I personally have been kind of feeling it in like a content rut, where it's like, not only have I not been posting as much, but when I do post, it just hasn't been hitting. And maybe that's partially why I haven't been posting as much, because I'm lacking that incentive or whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, I posted so much already. I've released so much.
Is it talking about, like, what is it talking about specifically?
Music already. I've had so many viral moments already that I have given myself a little bit of grace to kind of coast and float on that just a tiny bit. You don't want to get too comfortable. All I'm saying is, without all my viral songs, I'm nothing today, bro. And again, that's just me speaking. Obviously, other people might.
I hate the word viral. It's so subjective. But I mean, viral, yeah. I mean, maybe viral for lo-fi for sure.
Think differently, but without my catalog, like me releasing songs today, I would not be able to afford to live the way I live and do the things I do with just like erasing that history and moving forward. It'd be much more difficult for me. So for me personally, in today's day and age, if I'm posting videos like just on YouTube, my past videos were all like 9 of 10s, 10 of 10s. If you're not familiar with the way the creator system works, when you upload a YouTube video in the analytics, it'll rank it from how it's performing out of the last like 10 videos you've uploaded.
Bro, that feeling when you get a 10 out of 10 or multiple 10 out of 10s in a row, it's rough. Okay, that's rough for his channel, dude. 10 out of 10, 549 views. I hope this isn't his main channel. It's gotta be this click-through rate here, bro. 1.7 is diabolical. 1.7%. I don't know how long this video was up for. It must have been up for a while though. 1.7% is terrible. Like when you first post a video, if it's doing well, it should have somewhere between 20 to 12%, I would say. Like maybe the first 6 hours or so. 20 is like kind of on the high end. Maybe 20 would be closer to the first hour or so. And then like maybe after it's been out a few days, it'll be like 7 or 8% if it's doing well. So 1.7% is so bad. It is so fucking bad. Like I can't tell you how I've never even seen a CTR this low.
You upload a video, if it's like 10 of 10, 9 of 10, even 8 of 10, you're like.
But the thing is too, like when you have a click-through rate that's this bad, you got to do something about it. This is why you change thumbnails and titles. This is why people do that. I don't know if it's for his music. If it's for his music, there's not a lot you can do about that. You can maybe change the thumbnail, but the title itself, you can't really change the title with music, you know? So at 1.7 is like the worst click-through rate I've ever fucking seen though.
When you upload a video, if it's like 10 of 10, 9 of 10, even 8 of 10, you're like, damn. The video's trash. Nobody likes it. Nobody cares.
See, I don't even personally look at that as much because sometimes I'll get that just based on the topic, but the click-through rate is more important, or like whether or not people are watching, unsubbing and stuff like that.
Nobody's watching it. Where did I go wrong? Because it's comparing against your own videos. It's not like it's comparing you against all these other people. It's like, no, the video you just uploaded is worse than the one you uploaded last week. That's kind of how it feels. But that's been happening for me.
That'd be crazy if like YouTube was just like, damn, your shit sucks. Instead of saying 10 out of 10, it's like, damn, your shit sucks. Give up.
On this channel, the same stuff happens on Instagram, whatever. But at the end of the day, you're not gonna see me just stop posting because of that. No, I'm just gonna try my best to keep going, switching it up, and make sure that
Bro, I'm like unironically shadow banned on TikTok. I used to get like thousands of views on there when I post. I don't really post on there very much, but then all of a sudden the past few months, pretty much after it got banned and then unbanned, for some reason I get 0 views on TikTok, and then like maybe up to 10 tops, 10 views, even though I have 1,000 followers on there. It doesn't really make any fucking sense. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm shadow banned. Like, I think I got to make a new account.
I'm enjoying what I do and just try to ignore that. Like,
I said a lot of stuff about China,
with, like,
so that could be it.
Piano journey, it's not getting that many views, but I have been enjoying.
Let me see this. Facing my biggest piano struggle yet. You want to know why this is not right? You want to know why this is failing? People, for the most part, it depends on who you are and like how you built your audience, but people don't want to see content based around you. Facing my biggest piano struggle yet. People don't want that. They don't care about that. Unless they're really invested in you and your journey for some reason, they don't give a shit about that, bro. You gotta like phrase in the way like why you suck at piano or something like that. It's not even about search, bro. Like, search is actually one of the lowest ways to get views on YouTube. It's actually recommendations. That's like 90% of my views come from recommendations through like related content. You got to think about it. Like, the people watching your stuff are not even people that are always subscribed to you. So if it's someone that's not even subscribed to you, why would they care about your biggest piano struggle yet? You know what I mean? So you got to kind of like phrase the title in a way that interests people that are not tuned into your channel yet. You know, it really makes a big difference, because I've seen this before in my in the past. Like, for instance, I made a I think it was about 1.5 years ago, I did a compilation of like the funniest moments for my channel, right? It's not even that it's a boring title. It's too self-centered of a title, like boring and self-centered, I would say. Like, for instance, I did a compilation of like the funniest moments of 2024, I think. No, 2023 or something. The way I was phrasing the title, like, I noticed people weren't clicking on it. It was because it was about me. You know what I mean? Like, I had to like go for views or go for good videos. It's up to you, isn't it? I don't know what you're saying exactly, but you can get views and make a good video, or you can get views and make a bad video. That's one of the problems with YouTube is the title and thumbnail are so important. And it's almost like, it's not that the content inside doesn't matter, but you can make the best video ever. And if the title and thumbnail doesn't get people to click to begin with, then it's not going to pop off. Because if people aren't going to click on it, they're not going to know it's a good video. Think about that. If people don't click on the video or the song or whatever it is, they're not going to know it's good to begin with. So that's why people like really work hard to have a good title and thumbnail. Whole internet's like that, Weaver. Not completely. I think some algorithms are different. YouTube's algorithm is very based on title and thumbnail. For instance, one thing I noticed about Instagram's algorithm is like the performance of a post or reel or whatever. A lot of it depends on the performance of it, like when you upload it. So the time you upload it changes a lot. Whereas on YouTube, that doesn't change as much.
Views, but I have been enjoying the process of making those videos. So
does the title or thumbnail really matter for beat videos? The title does, for sure. It's a bit different. So it's a bit different with each section of YouTube. For instance, type beats, like title and thumbnail doesn't really matter as much. Like search matters a lot more with that. Like, a lot of it comes through search on there. I'm not sure about how it works, the recommendations for type beats, but I know like just being at the top of a search algorithm makes a big deal on there.
It's been helping me. But yeah, I'm getting a little bit off track, but essentially treat every post like bricks, laying the foundation, and over time, you'll have a lot of people binging your stuff. So just don't rob the future fans of quitting too early, if that makes any sense.
You know, okay, I'm sorry to like pause so much, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if you should just be doing it for future fans though either. I don't know if that's what he's saying there exactly, but like I said, you gotta be doing it because you like doing it. Like, that's part of the reason why when I do the news videos, like, there's been people before where they're just like, why are you telling these stupid fucking jokes? Like, why don't you just give me the news? And I'm like, well, first of all, like, a lot of people subscribe because of like what I'm doing here exactly. But like, secondly, like, I couldn't do it if that's what I had to do. If I had to just like give people the news and not like give my opinions or like say something that I think is funny, I would be so fucking bored of that. I would be so burned out of that, like within like weeks, months or something, you know? And I don't know. Some people just don't get that it's like, if you have to enjoy doing it. And that's like kind of the only thing that makes it fun for me, you know? Like, if I wasn't doing that, then bro, it's like worse than working a regular job. Then it's like harder than working a regular job at that point.
And on that note, right? you gotta remember, you're not just posting for them. You're not
Thanks,
just
guys.
posting for other people, the fans, whatever. You're posting for yourself. You're posting for your consistency, for your own growth, your discipline, your confidence. Like, it's not all about blowing up overnight. It's about just being undeniable over time, you know? And that's something even for me, like, I always have to remind.
Bro, he's spitting right now. That's true. It's true.
Myself. And just like,
I mean, I kind of make a living off YouTube to begin with. I mean, I don't want to like say exactly how much I make, but between this, live streams, mixing and mastering, and then music, yeah, I pretty much make enough. See, the amount of subscribers doesn't actually matter. It's the amount of views. That's one thing a lot of people don't know about YouTube. And I get a lot of views for the amount of subscribers I have. So like that kind of makes a big difference.
Like I said, with the learning piano journey.
And don't get me wrong though, I'm like far from rich, but I'm like making enough to get by.
Even though I know for a fact that a lot of people may not care about that, at the end of the day, sometimes you just got to prioritize what makes you happy, what's going to be fulfilling for you, as opposed to trying to chase.
Now, I could make a lot of money if I put like affiliate links or something, but I've kind of like struggled with that for a long time. I'm just like, I don't know, bro. I feel like a salesman doing that.
Viral trends, chasing this or that. If you're fulfilled by the process, like what you're doing, that's all
Gold
that
girl
really
win.
matters. And again, if you're laying those bricks, hopefully at some point the times will catch up. The people will catch up and realize they're going to stop sleeping on you at some point. And the best, or even the only way to do that, is to just keep showing up, even in silence. You know what I'm saying? Just keep posting the videos, keep making the music. And that doesn't mean just like post the same kind of videos, the same kind of content over and over, knowing that it's not working. There's always ways to improve. Always be a student, always be learning, you know.
Okay, this is true what he's saying right here. I heard Anthony Fantano talk about this before. Basically, you have to know one thing that's like really true about like YouTube, art in general, like music, whatever, drawing. Basically, anytime you're doing like some sort of self directed idea where you're like making a living off of yourself, you have to like know when your ideas are working or aren't working. Like for instance, if you have this idea where like let's just say you had an idea and it means a lot to you, but if it's not making you money, or if it's not even making you money, if it's not interesting to other people, hey, thank you for that. I appreciate that, Brain Fiend. Thank you very much, man. Let's go. What I was saying though, so Fantano was talking about how you have to know when to kill your own ideas. Like for instance, let's say you have an idea that means a lot to you, but no one else is getting it. At a certain point, you have to realize like, okay, no one else is getting this idea. I enjoy doing it, but if nobody's getting the idea, then there's only so long you can do it before it's just like, okay, I got to do something else. So like, I think it's like partially like figuring out what you can do and what other people enjoy you doing, right? And that goes for everything. Like I said, videos, art, music, anything.
It could be thumbnails, it could be titles, it could be the lighting, it could be the pacing. So whenever you're making these videos, you do want to try to improve, but don't just do that based on the fact that this video didn't do well, this video didn't do well. And don't just think you're ass, because again,
it's possible you could be ass. Okay, we were all ass at one point.
I look back at my old videos. My first viral video on YouTube was a video of me showing how to make a lo-fi beat on GarageBand for iOS. That video is ass.
How much time do you usually dedicate to YouTube daily? It's hard to say. Like usually days where I have my daughter, I don't usually work on YouTube very much, or if I do, it's like at night when she's asleep. But I kind of put a lot of work into editing when I do edit. Like I could do it in an hour or two, but I probably put like four hours at least.
Okay, I'll leave it linked below. You tell me if it's ass or not, but
for editing, that is, and then filming maybe like an hour or so. And then if it's like a video essay, it might take like, it could take me days to script, but I usually don't do it all at once. So it's probably like it depends on the video.
Was sick. The audio was bad. The lighting was bad. I didn't even like the beat, but for some reason that video did well. So I'm super grateful to all the people who enjoyed that, and shout out to the YouTube algorithm gods for really pushing that, because at the time I didn't even have that many subs. The video ended up doing well, but that's all to say is like, don't let the low amount of views.
Your second channel has its own editor. It does, but sometimes I edit them too.
How good you are, you know what I'm saying? And again, remember, you're doing this for you, not just for them. And to touch on algorithms for a second, one thing I will say, the algorithms could have you down. I don't think that algorithms are always in your favor or always in creators' favors. I think algorithms are
me didn't play games though sometimes.
The user, the person that's watching the content, consuming it, you know? So it's not like it's set up against you. I think a lot of people put the algorithm on their back and it weighs them down. They think like everything is dictated by the algorithm. It can change. It can do
He lives in
things
New
that
York,
hinders your video.
so I don't know if I can teach him to
I think
skate.
that's totally possible, but don't just blame it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people
Weaverbeats 3 we started a clip channel, but I was trying to keep up with it. It's too hard to do all that shit at once.
just blame the algorithm for everything. Think about all the people you've seen, maybe even in your own life, saying that they're
Skype.
shadow banned. I consider myself
I am shadow banned on TikTok, okay? Don't make me pull it up. I will pull it up. A majority of people that say they're shadow banned are not shadow banned though, but I am for sure shadow banned on TikTok, okay? Like when I post something, it gets 0 views. And it used to get thousands. It's fucking weird. And it just changed overnight one night. There is for sure shadow banning, but I think 99% of the people that mention shadow banning are just posting garbage.
a content creator. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been verified on Instagram since before you could pay for it. And there's so many people, even in like the day-to-day life, where they're like, oh, I'm shadow banned. Bro, you got 1,000 followers. No offense, I don't want to be rude to anyone, but people will think they're shadow banned because they're not getting a certain amount of likes or a certain amount of views. It could just be you, my guy. Just use some critical thought when you're talking about algorithms. Like, figure out, okay, could I be doing something wrong? And not that many people have that self-awareness to really look at themselves and be like, wait a minute, I almost blame the algorithm again, but is there something I could be doing? And even me, right now, I know for a fact that I am not posting enough. All the advice I give you, a lot of it, I am not even following myself. So when I post something on TikTok and it's like getting under 1,000 views, it's like, I have 700,000 followers, why aren't I getting a certain amount of views? But I just don't post enough on there, bro. I'd be lucky to post once or twice a week on there. And then recently I reposted my cat video that went viral last year and it's blowing up.
Holy shit, dude. Yo, what? Oh, hold on. My girlfriend's calling me.
One eternity later.
Okay. You don't cover Asian musicians, Weaver? Find them. Find them.
Bro, I'd be lucky to post once or twice a week on there. And then recently I reposted my cat video that went viral last
Bro, this is crazy, dude. 400,000 likes.
year. And it's blowing up. It's blowing up. It almost has 1 million views. So
What? Wait, hold on a second, bro. How do you have 1 million views and 400,000 likes?
it's blowing up. It's blowing up. It almost has 1 million views. So
How does that happen? That's an insane ratio. 400,000 likes, 1 million views? What?
here and it's blowing up. It's blowing up. It almost has 1 million views. So is that my account, or is it my content isn't appealing to whatever audience the algorithm is showing? Because the truth is, or we're supposed to think,
Get a cat, Weaver. Had one.
algorithm shows your content to a small group of people, and if they don't fuck with it, then it ain't going. So that's what they say. You know what I'm saying? Take that with a grain of
Cats
salt.
equal
That's
easy views.
supposedly how the algorithms work. So all I'm saying, if you do have that chip, if you have that algorithm chip on your shoulder, look inward.
It's really just different on every platform, but if you want to be successful on every platform, even music, making something that's good enough that people share it, it doesn't have to be good, just something that people share. Like, that goes crazy. That makes the algorithm go burr. People share it.
Make sure it is, because it could be, though. I'm not gonna lie, it could be. Like my recent YouTube videos, I personally feel like I've been putting a lot more effort into the editing, but maybe people just aren't interested in what I'm posting. That's what I think to myself. You know, it could be a little bit of them not showing it. Maybe people aren't even getting notifications for my videos. I don't know. But if a lot of people get that,
See, that's the thing. You don't get views from notifications. Like, almost no one has notifications turned on. And if they do, they don't click on them. People are much more likely to go through the recommendations, like on the homepage. That's like a majority of it is the homepage, just getting recommended on the homepage.
notification, and they don't click it because they don't care that I just got a new drum synth, or they don't care that I just learned some new chord progressions or whatever I've been doing lately. If they don't click it, YouTube's gonna see, oh, not a lot of people are clicking this, and they're not gonna show it to the rest of my subscribers and stuff. And I guess that's understandable, you know what I'm saying? I guess that makes sense, whatever. But just know, whether the algorithm is hitting or not, it doesn't define you.
I subbed him and barely see his videos on my homepage. See, it's not about subscribing though. It's about whether or not you watch them. If you click on them and watch them, then it'll recommend it to you. So like if you're not getting recommended it's probably because you haven't been watching them, and then it stops recommending them. So that's one reason why people continue to upload. You know, people are like, oh, you got to upload weekly, or you got to upload like however often. Because if people stop watching your stuff, then it won't recommend it anymore, unless the video does really well.
Like nobody's watching. Just know that you're not alone. Your favorite artist has been there. Your favorite celebrity's been there. Your favorite influencer has been there. And I've been there more times than you can count, bro. Like I said, I've been doing this for like over 7 years now. I've seen it all. I've seen the death of full social media platforms. You know what I'm saying? So
Like what? 7 years? What has died in the past 7 years? Not TikTok, not Facebook, not Instagram, not Twitter. MySpace? Like that's not 7 years ago.
I started on MySpace, bro.
Oh, okay. Well,
We're
bro,
on
7 years ago? 7 years ago? 7 years ago? 7 years ago?
MySpace back in the day. A lot of you kids watch.
Well, come on. Hold on, bro. 7 years, that's like 10 or 15 or more.
Like I said, I've been doing this for like over 7 years now. I've seen it all. I've seen the death of full social media platforms. You know what I'm saying? So well, I started.
Bro, contradictory as fuck. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe when he's saying 7 years ago, maybe he's talking about music, and maybe he's talking. See, these are just not connected though. You know what I mean? Like,
On MySpace, bro. Come on. We were on MySpace back in the day. A lot of you kids watching this, I've seen my age demographics. Y'all probably don't even know what MySpace is. What you know about a top?
they're like, all right, Unc.
But just know, the ones that made it, they didn't stop. They didn't give up. They didn't let all the algorithms and the low numbers stop them from doing what they love, which is their passion, whether it's music, art, fashion, whatever it be. They're doing what they love, okay? The fact that we have...
Wait, what is that? What do you think about them adding important category for YouTube notifications? I don't know what that's about. Was that a thing? I never heard of that.
Just do so much content around what we love now. That's fairly new, being that content is pretty much one of the only ways to make it. But at the end of the day, it all starts with the actual passion, which for me and probably you watching is the music. So post that song, drop that reel, drop that YouTube video, drop.
Bro, I can't drop. That's funny. All right, Drake. That wasn't him in that profile picture on MySpace. I can't tell if you're trolling or not. I genuinely can't tell sometimes, bro. I'm just gonna pretend like you're not, bro. That's Tom. That's the guy who made MySpace. And like I'm just gonna say this in case people don't know. This guy made MySpace, and you were automatically friends with him on MySpace if you made an account. So that's like the reference there.
The actual passion, which for me and probably you watching is the music. So post that song, drop that reel, drop that YouTube video, drop. Post it all, because your future fans are going to thank you for not giving up. And if you need help with your marketing, just know your boy has a music marketing masterclass. It's a 1-hour class jam-packed with everything I've done over my career. Link will be in the description. Also doing one-on-one calls.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I gotta drop all these songs I'm sitting on. Got like 10 billion.
Link is in the description. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
That's pretty dope. That was pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't know. I saw that one earlier and I was a bit interested. I thought it'd be interesting because I know he blew up with lo-fi beats, and then I know he's had a bit of a fall off. Like he's basically like halved in monthly listeners. So I figured it would be an interesting perspective to hear what he has to talk about that. It's pretty good. Why does everyone have a master class? You know why. You know why. You can't hate it though. You can't hate the hustle. You can't hate it. I mean, as long as you're actually providing like the real knowledge or something.